For this lesson, you need to open the sample file Health Club Buckings 4 from your Sample Files folder. Validation parameters don't have to be simple values. They can also be the result of formulas. Consider the dates in column A. It would make no sense to make a booking for a date that's in the past. So how can we do this? Well, we'll do this using a formula-driven date validation. To do this, I'll select all of the values in column A, then it's the Data tab on the ribbon, and in the Data Tools group, Data Validation. Now for the settings, instead of allowing any value, I'll want to allow only dates to be entered in column A, and in the data box, I'll want dates that are greater than or equal to today, so I'll choose greater than or equal to. Now, how am I going to enter a date into this box that will always be today's date? Well, the answer is to use a function. So I'll press equals today and then open a bracket and close a bracket. The today function returns today's date. This function will be covered in depth later in lesson 3.8. Let's now add an appropriate error alert. So I'll click the Error Alert tab and the title can be Date Error, and for the message, dates cannot be in the past. And then I'll click OK. Let's test the validation now by entering a date that's in the past. So I'll have the 1st of May 2007. And when I press the Enter key, the date fails validation. So let's click Cancel. And when I made this video, the 1st of January 2012 was in the future. Of course, you'll need to enter a different date because by the time you watch this video, it will no longer be in the future. I now press the Enter key and the date's accepted because it's not in the past. Let's now implement the business rule for column B. That is that names must have a minimum length of 2 characters and a maximum length of 20 characters. So I'll select all of the cells in column B, and then it's the Data tab on the ribbon, and in the Data Tools group, Data Validation. This time the validation is concerned with text length, and the text length can be between a minimum value of the business rule stated in cell J12. And at the moment, J12 is a relative reference. It's very important that we make it into an absolute reference. So I'll press the F4 key on the keyboard to do that. Absolute and relative cell references are covered in depth in lesson 312 of the Essential Skills video in this series. If you're unsure about how to use absolute and relative cell references, you can download this lesson and watch the matching video free of charge at our website. Go to www.learnmicrosoftexcel.com and then click Free Tutorials with Video on the top menu bar. You'll then be able to view the video and download the lesson in PDF format. Let's now set the maximum text length in the same way. So I'll click on cell J13, press the F4 key to convert to an absolute reference, and now let's add an appropriate error alert. The error alert title can be name, and the alert itself can be names must be at least 2 characters and not more than 20 characters. And then I'll click the OK button and test the validation. So let's begin by entering a 1-character name. I'll just put A, and when I press the Enter key, it fails validation and my error message is displayed. Right, let's try a very long name now, one that's more than 20 characters. And when I press the Enter key, once again, it fails validation because names can only be a maximum of 20 characters. I'll click Cancel, and now I'll enter a real name. And this should be accepted when I press the Enter key, and indeed it is. All that remains now is to save your work, and I'm going to save with the new name Health Club Buckings 5, and as usual, I'll save to the folder above, my Sample Files folder. I click the Save button, and you've now completed lesson 210. Add a formula-driven date validation and a text length validation.